Hi there guys, and welcome back to Same Ship Different Day. So it is finally time for that update I've been promising you on the Princess Cruises fleet and P&O Australia, seeing as I'm down here now, telling you where everything is, what's been going on, or as much as I can tell you about that, and just giving you a general update on the fleet, so hopefully you can bring you up to date and you'll be a bit more aware. Before I begin, as always, my views and opinions don't reflect those of Princess Cruises, Carnival Corporation, P&O Australia. I'm just doing this for a bit of fun to keep myself entertained and hopefully keep some of you sat at home entertained until we can all get back cruising again. I'm currently on board the Pacific Encounter. I'm here to transship over to the Pacific Explorer once we arrive at the anchorage tomorrow afternoon. So let's use this time to show you what's going on around the fleet. So before I start with where all the current cruise ships are right now, let me talk about what's been sold and what is no longer with the company, and unfortunately none of us will see as a Princess ship again. We have lost, unfortunately, Sun Princess and Sea Princess, two of those Sun class ships, which are fantastic. Unfortunately, it was time for them to move on. Obviously, they would have been retired at some point in the near future, with newer ships coming in and them now being the older ships in the fleet. They've gone off, I think, to Japan somewhere. Some companies out there have bought them. They've got some nice ships there. Well done to them. The last one in the fleet of that class now is the Dawn Princess, which is actually Pacific Explorer, the ship that I'm joining. So I'll be lucky enough to go over there and show you around what the old ship has now become. The other ship that has gone, unfortunately, is sad to say, Pacific Princess has left the company now. She was retired early, and the Island and Coral Princess will be taking over her world cruising whenever we do get back to world cruising. We're looking at probably 2023 before we see any world cruising. I believe the Island or Coral, one of them just uploaded their most recent world cruise, and that sold out very quickly indeed, or at least the suites. I think all the suites were gone within 24 hours, so that's an exceptionally good sign for us and for the industry moving forward. If any of you booked on that cruise, then congratulations. I hope that all goes very smoothly for you, and there's lots of time between now and then to make sure that it does. With regards to P&O Australia, we've also lost some ships. Obviously Pacific Jewel had already moved on, which was one of my favourites. It's such a shame. Now Pacific Dawn has been retired slightly early, and Pacific Aria as well. That leaves then just the ex-Princess ships from my time of the Dawn Princess, now Pacific Explorer, as discussed, the Star Princess, now Pacific Encounter, as on board, and the Golden Princess, now or soon to be Pacific Adventure. And that's all of the ones that have been sold for now, and hopefully that it will be it. There's no sign of any more going, so as long as cruises do resume soon, then I don't see any other ships leaving our fleet, which is good news. But hopefully some new ones coming. We can discuss those later on with the others that have come into the fleet. So for now, let me show you around the world and where everything is. Okay, we'll start off then with an overview of the entire planet, if you like, with all the ships in shot, more or less. The reason I'm using Cruise Mapper is because I can actually isolate Princess Cruises and P&O Cruises. This will then include some of P&O UK, which I'm not going to discuss. However, you will see them on there in the green dots over here. You can see the Arcadia, Azura, etc. But the P&O bit allows me to get P&O Australia in as well. Unfortunately, you cannot see any green dots down in Australia at the moment, as there are no cruise ships down there, which is a shame for all of us, I think. Anyway, shall we start with where I am right now? We'll zoom into Singapore. As you can see, my past track is already up there for you. Let's show you where I started and where I am now. So I joined, having flown into Matala Airport there. We took about, it was supposed to be a 4-hour bus journey up there, but with the added queuing in order to allow crew to embark bus by bus, it probably took about 6 hours over to Colombo. Then we sailed out the next morning. We've been going across the south of the Bay of Bengal over here in the British Indian Ocean, and now we have gone down the Malacca Straits and into the Singapore Straits, which brings us just about to where we are now. As you can see, we have shot through past Singapore. This is the anchorage we're heading to. However, tonight we will be going outside 12, doing some discharges, and then finally anchoring tomorrow afternoon. So let's look who is over here in Singapore with us then. That's me right there, Pacific Encounter. And then over here you've got the Crown Princess, the Diamond Princess, Pacific Explorer, which is the one I'm heading to, Sapphire Princess, and also over here, in here somewhere, is the former Golden Princess, now Pacific Adventure. She doesn't want to come up on my screen today, but I do promise you she's anchored around here somewhere. I'm not sure if she's actually transitioned on into being Pacific Adventure right now, because I'm not sure that she's been in for either wet dock or dry dock in order to do that fully. I know the main dry dock is yet to come. She's definitely going to go in at some point, and by the time this cruising resumes down in Australia, I'm sure Pacific Adventure and Encounter and Explorer will all be available to you guys to go cruising. But in the meantime, even Cruise Mapper doesn't want to show her right here, but trust me, she's there. And let me just briefly interrupt myself there. So since I filmed that vlog, we have actually now passed the Golden Princess, and she is still Golden Princess. She has not had any work done visually from the outside anyway. So like I said, she'll be going back into dry dock at some point and getting all that work done, ready to continue as Pacific Adventure with P&O Australia. I just thought I'd show you this and update you on that. And now I'll let myself get back to telling you all about the rest of the fleet. So over to you. Thanks a lot. From the ships that are down here in Singapore then, the ones that I know that have been into dry dock, Sapphire Princess has just recently completed her dry dock. I was actually supposed to be joining the Sapphire originally before it got switched to Pacific Explorer, which is fine by me. Diamond Princess is here. She's actually underway by the looks of it, which is good to see. She will be heading next down into Singapore, I believe, 15th of March to complete a PSSC. Then she'll get a new joiners on board as well. Even the ones that are on here now will have to wait until the 15th of March due to the Singapore rules at the moment. And then I think she's going to head over to Manila and drop off some crew and maybe pick up some fresh faces. At the moment, over in Manila, there is not very much going on. There's no princess ships in here compared to last time when we looked at this Manila Bay just here. There's no Princess or P&O Australia, of course, ships here at all. I'm not sure if any other companies have any there, but probably not at the moment, emptied out. But yeah, we are going to have to send a ship over there to do a crew change, which is crazy 9 months on, that is still the most efficient way to do it. But with the world as it is at the moment, flying is still not the best option. So hopefully within 6 months that will change as the vaccine starts to be rolled out, and we'll see crew flying to the ships directly rather than having to do all this ferrying. So if we go then over to America, across the Pacific to the west coast over here, if we can zoom in and get some of the ships to pop up for us. There we go. So further south we have the Grand Princess. She's over in Puerto Vallarta at the moment. I know she's also been going up to La Paz and up to LA for crew changes. The one in La Paz at the moment is Majestic. Then you have the Emerald heading south as well. And I don't think there's anything up in LA right now. Let me have a look what's closer. Down here then, Royal Princess. And another one near Ensenada, yeah, the Ruby is there as well. So 5 ships over on the west coast at the moment, which should mean that there are 2 on the east coast. But the ones on the west coast, they're going to be staying there until hopefully we resume sailing over here somewhere. Obviously, you may be aware that Canada has now banned cruise ships until, I believe, June 2022. Or is that an exaggeration? I think March 2022 actually, which means it's very, very hard to do an Alaska season up here with the rules. The only option is if the states will give us an exemption, which is probably not very likely at the moment, or if we can find another alternative foreign port to go to. But during Alaska cruise, it's very hard indeed. So chances are the 2021 Alaska season won't be happening for us, which is very unfortunate. I know a lot of businesses up there do survive on the cruise industry, and therefore will be struggling with missing 2 seasons now. But when we do get back to it, it will be very special indeed. and I have heard rumours that some companies might be doing it. Anyway, going over to the east coast, so the other two ships that we've got in or around the States at the moment, you've got the Coral Princess. She's moved up from Curacao and is now, looks like, at anchor just near Freeport in the Bahamas, and then the Caribbean Princess is just sat on the old Bahama Bank on this shelf here at anchor. I'm sure there's lots of other ships from different companies there as well. I bet there's some Carnival, and I bet there's some Costa. There we go. Look at all those. Yeah, all the Carnivals are there. Pretty much most of them anyway. So she's not alone over there. Right, let's move over then to Europe, to the Mediterranean, across the Atlantic. Around the UK at the moment, I expect to see all the P&O UK vessels, if they want to pop up for me. And they're going to stay hiding. There they are. Yeah, you've got the Iona, Azura, Ventura, Aurora, Arcadia over there. Princess has now moved on from there. The closest one we have to it, I believe, is the Island Princess, which is Sicily, Italy, down here somewhere. There she is, just alongside there. I'm not sure if she's doing crew change or what she's over there for at the moment, to be honest, but there's a nice sheltered spot for her. And then another anchorage that we're using at the moment is in Cyprus. This is where our new bigger ships are at the moment, ready for the Mediterranean season. And speaking of new, you'll shortly see the Enchanted Princess. That's the newest one in our fleet, following the Sky and the Majestic, which is over in the States, and then the Regal as well, obviously. Regal is the only Royal class that I've personally been on, to work at least. But the Enchanted will be one of the first ships back, I think. Being the newest, it will mean that the company want to get her out sailing sort of as soon as possible and letting everyone experience the wonderful Enchanted Princess. These ships have all, I think, been in for a dry dock in the area as well. It gave the opportunity to do that, and so that was taken, and make sure all the maintenance and refurbishment that might be required has been done prior to sailing later in the year. So I think that's pretty much the whole world for us at the minute. We've just basically got ships in various positions ready to go, so that when cruising can resume, we're doing it ASAP. Obviously the Australian ships will move down to Australia when possible and it's allowed. I think we'll be looking probably at starting cruising in both Australia and America first, but Europe already has lots of promising action going on at the moment, but I don't know if the company want to start over there until we can start over here in the States. So time will tell. I can't promise you anything. I'm not privy to that sort of information just yet. I'm sure when you find out, I'll find out at the same time, but I'll be sure to try and update you on that. For me then, seeing as we're in Singapore, let's have a look at what I'll be doing for the next 3 months. I'll be sat up at anchor just here on the Pacific Explorer, maybe going out once a month or so, going to Singapore, doing some services and getting supplies. There'll also be some marine operations going on outside 12 to do some discharging. And then again, with so few crew members on board, there's probably only going to be a requirement for that once every 3-4 weeks. So that will give me a bit of action though as we come into the Singapore Straits. Lots of traffic in this area. If I could show you standard vessels as well, I'm sure you would see. Obviously there's going to be a few other cruise ships around to keep an eye on in the anchorages, as well as plenty of cargo ships as well. So I'll be keeping an eye out for that and showing you everything that we have going on. But overall it should be quite a quiet contract for me, and that should mean that I have time to focus on getting some of this out to you and updating you and getting you some behind the scenes footage. If you like the sound of that and you haven't already, then please do subscribe. If you've enjoyed this video and this quick update I've been able to give you, then give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it, and it should help the channel out quite a lot. I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you for joining me once again. Let's push up this subscriber rate. I think I'm hitting 13,000 now, which is incredible. I hope to see that grow and grow and grow as I continue to work hard bringing you guys content. So thanks again for watching. See you very soon. Take care. Okay guys, thanks for sticking with me right through to the end. I'm going to give you a bit of footage from the Singapore Straits as we transited them this morning. As you can see, quite a bit of traffic around and not too far off Singapore, but we will be heading straight through. Hope you enjoyed this one. Enjoy these scenes, and I'll see you shortly.